everybody, I'm Ace Trainer Liam and welcome to my top 10 normal type Pokemon. Now the normal type is one of the most common types in the Pokemon universe, second only to water, and it's mainly known for its immunity to ghost type moves, even though normal type moves also can't hit ghost type Pokemon. And it's the only type out of all 18 that isn't super effective against anything else. The normal type as well tends to include a lot of more realistic animal Pokemon, like a lot of pets seem to appear as normal types. But today I'm going to count down my top 10 favourites. As always guys, this is my personal opinion. It's probably going to differ from yours, don't be too shocked. But here we go, top 10 normal type Pokemon. Number 10. Ditto. Ditto gets on this list, A, for being the simplest, cutest design ever in Pokemon. It's a little blob of goo and all it has is a little smiley face on it. It's adorable. Not only that, but Ditto can be a very useful Pokemon. It can transform into any Pokemon that it's up against, and not to mention it can breed with pretty much any Pokemon, with a few certain exclusions. Ditto is just a handy Pokemon to have around. Cute as a button. It's got some great lore behind it as well, obviously relating to perhaps being a failed clone of Mew, because only Mew and Ditto can learn Transform, yada yada yada. But certainly Ditto deserves a place in this list for being so freaking adorable. Especially the one in the anime that gives all the Pokemon dirt face. Number 9. Furfrou. Introduced in Generation 6, a lot of people didn't like Furfrou. And why didn't you like it, people? It's not even a clever Pokemon design, it's just a dog. Ugh, you can go and get its fur trim, that's so girly. Why have they included the fairy type and dog grooming in this game? It's ruining Pokemon. You people need to calm down. Furfrou is a great Pokemon. It's a bulky beast. Even though its defense stat is only 60, couple that with its ability, Fur Coat, which halves the damage taken by physical moves, then combine it with the fact that this thing can learn Cotton Guard, which each time you use it raises your defense by 3 stages, this thing is the physical wall. There is no question. Furfrou is a perfect physical wall. It's great. I love the Pokemon and I like the idea of being able to customize a Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Number 8. Lickitung. Much like Furfrou, Lickitung was made for the stall game. It may not look like much compared to Licky, but pop an Eevee on that thing and it's going to have decent defenses. Give it an annoying set of moves like Swagger, Toxic and Rest, and you can really drag a game out. I chose Lickitung over Licky because of A, the Eevee thing, and B, Licky looks freaking terrible. At least Lickitung is somewhat cute in a really warped, weird way. Licky was a rushed design, definitely. It was crap. If you're going to make an evolution for Lickitung, at least put some thought into it, whereas Licky, it's just a joke. And of course, let's not forget, Lickitung's minigame in Pokemon Stadium was freaking genius. Number 7. Porygon 2. I very nearly put Porygon in this slot just out of pure nostalgia, but Porygon 2 is a good example of taking a Pokemon that's kind of different looking and kind of cute and making it even cuter. Who knew rounding the edges of Porygon would make it so much cuter and so much more adorable? Plus, again, this is an Eevee-like beast. Porygon 2 can be hard to take down, and it's easily underestimated. Couple that with it having the download ability, where it calculates whether your opponent's special defense or defense is lower, and then raises its attack or special attack based on that to give you a little bit of an advantage. Just a great Pokemon, like, it just works. I don't know what the hell happened with Porygon Z, but Porygon 2 is where it's at. Number 6. Persian. This one's freaking sexy. We all know that. There's something about cat shoulders, isn't there? You know, like when you're watching The Lion King and they're all walking around and you can see the shoulders like that. Don't know what it is. It's freaking beautiful. But on a serious note, Persian is just cool looking. They went, hey, let's make a cat Pokemon. Let's make it look freaking badass. I mean, it's basically a cat with a lion-sized body. And I quite like the simplicity of it. The only thing that bothers me with it is the name, because it looks more like a Siamese cat than a Persian. Don't know what they were thinking there. Couple all that with a decent speed stat and the fact that Persian gets access to Technician, which increases the power of moves that have base power 60 or less by 50%, which is a fantastic ability to have. This means that Persian can run the common Ambipom strategy of Fake Out with Stab, with Technician, with a normal gem and wreak freaking havoc. Not to mention, if it's good enough for Giovanni, it's good enough for me. Number 5. Snorlax. Snorlax is probably one of the 10 most iconic Pokemon that there are. There are people that know barely anything about Pokemon and perhaps only really recognise Pikachu, and Snorlax is probably also one of the Pokemon that they recognise. Even if they don't know it's a Snorlax, they know it's a Pokemon. And for good reason. The thing is what we all want to be. Big, lazy, sleep all day, wake up and eat, go back to sleep. It's a great life being a Snorlax, and I'm quite jealous of it. Bearing in mind it has a ridiculously high HP stat, which means it's pretty difficult to take down. You always know that you're in for a long battle when you see a Snorlax turn up. Unless you've got some fighting types with you, of course. In that case, disregard. Number 4, Exploud. The hench beast that is Exploud. The thing looks so cool. I love sound-based Pokemon, and Exploud just is perfect. It's got the kind of organ pipes coming out the back of its head. It's just so freaking cool. And it looks intimidating, it looks scary. You could see this thing blowing down your freaking house with the power of its voice. It's a great design for a fully evolved Pokemon, and I really can't fault Exploud. Actually, I can. There's one thing I hate about Exploud and Loudred and Whismur. I understand that they're sound-based Pokemon and they're going to have holes in their body for sound to come out of. But why do they have to be the 3 Pokemon that are designed with bum holes? Need to talk about something, Game Freak? Number 3. Eevee. Of course Eevee's in the list. Eevee is easily one of the most versatile Pokemon there is. If you have an Eevee, you have 9 options for what to do with it as it levels up. And of course, for those of you going, excuse me Liam, there are 8 evolutions. Who says it has to evolve? But Eevee, apart from being freaking adorable and a Pokemon that anybody would have as a pet, hands down, everybody would have an Eevee as a pet given the chance. It's great that you can choose to evolve it in so many different ways, that you can have so many different strategies built around one Pokemon. Being in a branched evolution that has 8 branches, there really is no other Pokemon like Eevee, so it would be really, really bad for me to leave it off this list. Number 2. Miltank. Yes, it's another cute one, and yes, I know it has udders and teats, and people can't seem to get over that. It's a freaking cow. What do you want it to have? A Miltank without teats would be so freaking creepy. You need them to be there because it's a cow. It needs that stuff. But getting away from that, if you can keep your eyes up here when you talk to Miltank, she is a lady. Miltank's a great little Pokemon. It's bulky, it has access to a decent enough move pool, and it can really cause people problems. Not to mention it can also be a blessing to you. With access to Milk Drink and Heal Bell, you can keep Miltank in battle for longer, you can heal allies from their status conditions. It's great. It's a brilliant Pokemon to have, and it is really, really sweet. Not to mention Moo Moo Milk is probably the best thing going. Before I get to number 1, I'm going to throw in some honourable mentions. First up, we have Bouffalon for having Pokédex entries that say that it has such destructive force and power behind it, it can derail a train, yet it can't learn Cut, which means it can't chop down a small bush. Next up, we have Linoon for being the ultimate HM slave. It can learn Cut, it can learn Dig, it can learn Rock Smash, it can learn Strength, and it can learn Surf. If you're going through Hoenn, you need one of these. And lastly, I'd like to give an honourable mention to Dunsparce for trying. Number 1, Ferret. This thing is so freaking cute and I love it to pieces. It can be used in battle effectively, but you've really got to be in like the perfect circumstances. But people who own Ferret are not after a competitive battler. People who want a Ferret are after an adorable little ferret. Well, not a little one, because they're like 5 feet 11 inches long, but you get my point. This thing is adorable, and the fact that it has a freaking pink shiny at that just makes it so much cuter. Ferret, I can't see anything replacing you as my favourite normal type Pokemon. You're just too adorable, especially with the little paw shuffle he does when he's in battle. Just melts my heart. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section which are your favourite normal type Pokemon. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another video from me. I upload videos every single day. To those who are already subscribed, thank you so much. I freaking love you guys. You're awesome. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.